Welcome to Lives of Light, Little Saints. Today, we celebrate Saint Elizabeth of Portugal, whose feast day is July 4. She was a queen who loved the poor, forgave others, and even stopped a war with courage and faith. Let's discover the inspiring story of the queen who brought peace wherever she went. Story: The Queen Who Brought Peace. Long ago, in the kingdom of Aragon, there was a little princess named Elizabeth. She was named after her great-aunt, Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, who was already famous for her kindness to the poor. From the time Elizabeth was a little girl, she loved to pray. She enjoyed reading the Bible, helping those in need, and sharing whatever she had with others. Everyone noticed that she had a gentle heart. Even though she lived in a palace filled with beautiful clothes, delicious food, and precious jewels, Elizabeth knew that the greatest treasure was God's love. When Elizabeth was only 12 years old, she married King Denis of Portugal. Soon, she became the Queen of Portugal. Being queen was not always easy. King Denis was intelligent and worked hard for his kingdom, but he sometimes made poor choices. At times, he became angry. Sometimes people in the royal court argued with one another. Instead of joining the arguments, Queen Elizabeth prayed for peace. Whenever people disagreed, she tried to bring them back together. She listened carefully to both sides before speaking. She reminded everyone that forgiveness is stronger than revenge. Elizabeth also loved the poor. Almost every day, she visited people who were sick or hungry. She brought them food, clothing, and medicine. Sometimes she even prepared meals with her own hands. The people loved their queen because she treated everyone with kindness, whether they were rich or poor. One day, the king heard that Elizabeth often carried bread hidden beneath her cloak when she left the palace. He wondered why. He stopped her and asked, "What are you carrying?" Elizabeth quietly prayed that God would help her continue caring for the poor. When she opened her cloak, according to a cherished tradition, the bread had become beautiful roses. The king was amazed. Although this story has been passed down through Christian tradition, everyone agreed about one thing: Elizabeth's love for the poor was real. But perhaps her greatest work was making peace. Years passed. Disagreements arose between King Denis and their son, Prince Afonso. The arguments became so serious that war almost broke out between father and son. Many people feared that families throughout the kingdom would suffer. Queen Elizabeth refused to give up. She rode on horseback between the two armies. She pleaded with both sides to stop fighting. She reminded them that they were family. She encouraged forgiveness instead of violence. By God's grace, peace was restored. Many lives were saved because one brave queen trusted God more than fear. After King Denis died, Elizabeth did not seek power or riches. Instead, she devoted even more time to prayer and works of charity. She joined the Third Order of St. Francis, living a simple life while continuing to serve the poor. Even as she grew older, Elizabeth traveled long distances to help settle conflicts between kingdoms. She believed that wherever people chose forgiveness, Christ's peace could shine. When Queen Elizabeth died in 1336, people throughout Portugal mourned the loss of their beloved queen. The church later declared her a saint because she had shown that true greatness is found not in crowns or castles, but in serving God and loving others. Today, Saint Elizabeth of Portugal reminds us that peacemakers are among God's greatest servants. Whenever we forgive, help someone in need, or bring friends back together after an argument, we follow her beautiful example. Reflection. Saint Elizabeth teaches us that peace begins with one kind heart. Ask yourself, do I help solve arguments instead of making them worse? Do I forgive others when they hurt my feelings? Can I share what I have with someone in need? God can use even small acts of kindness to bring great peace. Prayer. Dear Saint Elizabeth, you brought peace to families and kingdoms through your love for God. Help me to be kind, to forgive quickly, and to care for those who are in need. Teach me to be a peacemaker in my home, at school, and wherever I go. May my words and actions always bring others closer to Jesus. Amen. Remember, little saints, like Saint Elizabeth of Portugal, every kind word, every act of forgiveness, and every helping hand can bring God's peace into the world. Be a peacemaker, and see you next time on Lives of Light.